Well, I think it's worth starting with, we've had a moment where we were going sort of two steps forward and one step back. And today what we've done is gone two steps backwards. I think, what the CENTCOM commander has said and what President Trump has said is fairly clear. The United States is trying to both degrade Iran's ability to continue to prevent shipping to come out of the Strait of Hormuz. And so the strikes are an attempt to degrade as much as possible the capability Iran has to do that. And I think it's also punishment against the IRGC for what Washington sees as sort of unprovoked attacks against commercial shipping. And we've seen this play out. I mean, it sort of shows the overall weakness of the two sides' investment in the memorandum of understanding. I mean, the United States' understanding was that shipping would be free during the 60-day period to take place without encumberment. And I think the Iranians believe that this should only take place in the selection, the channel of the straits that they wanted. And so CENTCOM is essentially enforcing the message of we want there to be freedom of navigation, and if you end up attacking, we will hit you back, and we'll hit you back hard. And that's, I think, what the second night of attacks is all about.
Reports of strikes around Bandar Abbas, Sirik, and such areas, other strategic coastal. What do you think that, how significant does the role these locations play in these strikes?
I mean, I think they're significant in that, it sounds to me, and it's hard to know without really, seeing exactly where things are taking place, that this is a much more broad-based strike, that, the Pentagon has lists of targets that it wants to hit in terms of trying to degrade Iranian ability to both attack military bases of the United States in the region and to degrade their ability, again, to continue to sort of block commercial traffic. So I think the CENTCOM is trying to establish a new kind of equilibrium, and I'm guessing the hope is that the Iranians will eventually stand down, and then we will get back to talking if possible.
Does this escalation pose for international shipping and regional security around Hormuz?
Well, obviously, it's very significant, and I believe the International Maritime Authority basically said everybody to sort of halt what they're doing. I mean, the United States' efforts have been to try and degrade Iran's ability to sort of leverage the Strait of Hormuz. And so what they're doing is they've opened a channel and they're trying to have people go by the Omani coast. So that's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to encourage international shippers to do that to keep the price of oil down. Now, it's obviously up to the shippers to decide whether the risks of doing this are worthwhile in the face of Iranian attacks on them. And so, this has gone back and forth. The straits had increased for a while, and we were up at not where we were before, but at a significant number, which had opened up the markets. Now, of course, we're back in a much more dangerous position. And so one wonders whether the shippers will go back to their former stance, which is it's way too dangerous for us to do this. And even if there is some U.S. protection, that's not enough to get them to take the risk.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.